Minister, none of us knows how Brexit is going to end up, but unfortunately in recent weeks it appears that the prospect of a hard Brexit has increased. We heard yesterday that Donald Tusk appeared to be of that view. Obviously, if it is the case that there is a hard Brexit, the Gardaí along the border in particular are going to require further resources. It's a whole unpredictable area for them. What has been done by the government to give greater resources to the Gardaí to prepare for a hard Brexit?
Ministers, 2 minutes.
The Deputy will be aware that the Taoiseach Minister for Foreign Affairs and Trade is coordinating what is a whole-of-government response to Brexit. In this capacity, he is working closely with all ministers, including myself, to address in a joined-up manner the many challenges that Brexit will present. However, I do want to emphasise that it is the Government's firm resolve that the same border arrangements as currently apply on the island of Ireland will continue into the future. In its approach to the Brexit negotiations, the Government has ensured that protecting the gains of the peace process and the avoidance of a hard border is a high priority for Ireland, our partner member states in Europe and the EU Commission. An Garda Síochána operates within this policy framework. The Garda Commissioner is responsible for the distribution of resources, including personnel, and Garda management keep this under active review in line with operational security demands, including any possible policing requirements post-Brexit. A high-level management team in An Garda Síochána has been set up to prepare for any organisational challenges that may evolve in the context of Brexit, and they are engaged on an ongoing basis with my department. I and senior officials from my department met with the Garda Commissioner and his team to discuss Brexit contingency planning, and I am assured that An Garda Síochána is preparing for Brexit with a wide-ranging focus to determine operational requirements, including personnel, infrastructure, training, technology. Will continue to progress their contingency preparations. They are committed to ensuring the organisation is prepared for the associated policing implications and challenges that may arise therefrom. I want to assure the House that An Garda Síochána has the full support of the Government in dealing with the implications of Brexit, will provide whatever resources are required to keep our people and our communities safe.
1 minute.
Regrettably, I think we now must seriously prepare for the prospect of a hard Brexit on the island after next March. Hopefully it won't happen, but we must prepare for it. It's extremely worrying that senior members of An Garda Síochána themselves seem to be in the dark with regards to the planning for this prospect. Last week we had before the Oireachtas Justice and Equality Committee Assistant Commissioner Michael Finn and Assistant Garda Commissioner Pat Leahy. Assistant Commissioner Finn told the committee that clarity is needed on Brexit. He said getting some solid information on how it's going to work out is the key factor we would like to get some clarity on. And Assistant Commissioner Leahy said to the committee that the Gardaí are waiting with bated breath to see what impact Brexit will have on policing. We need to ensure that the Gardaí have further resources to deal with this. People will remember the foot and mouth scare a number of years ago when Gardaí were required on every border crossing. Hopefully it won't come to that, Minister, but I'm concerned that the Government isn't sufficiently prepared for the prospect of a hard border, and it requires further resources being allocated to the Gardaí to deal with it.
Minister, 1 minute.
Well, can I say that I'm both disappointed and concerned that despite intensive negotiations involving the EU and UK negotiating teams in recent days, that it has not been possible to make the decisive progress that is needed urgently. I want to again assure the House that as far as a so-called hard border is concerned, that's not something that we're contemplating. Our resolve is to ensure that the invisible border north and south remains. And as far as preparation for changes is concerned on the matter of the withdrawal of the UK from the European Union, I want to say that our resolve, our preparation, is clearly demonstrated by last week's budget, which saw the Garda budget increase by €110 million, €1.65 billion to €1.76 billion. This will provide the Commissioner with the resources needed in terms of recruitment, in terms of civilianisation, and in terms of the capital allocation. But also to say, respective preparation for Brexit. Many workshops, presentations, north and south, very close cooperation between the Gardaí and PSNI is all underway to ensure that the adverse effects are mitigated.
Final question.
My understanding is that the PSNI have in fact recruited further officers specifically to deal with Brexit. And I'm just concerned that we haven't reached the same levels of preparation. Like when you think about it, the policing along the border, as you will well know, Lascam Corla, requires further resources. 43% of Garda stations within a 10-mile radius of the border have closed over the past number of years. We know that, as a brief example, there are 169 border crossings in Cavan Monaghan division alone. We need to ensure that there are resources there to deal with these prospects. In Ballyshannon district, which is a border district, has received no recruits since the moratorium. Its traffic unit is down to only one patrol car. But in Crana district, which polices a number of very busy border crossings, has received 2 trainees in total, and that was only in recent weeks. So we need to ensure that we're prepared, Minister. I heard the Taoiseach yesterday talking about further recruitment in other spheres in order to prepare for a hard Brexit. I didn't hear him say anything about recruitment in Garda Síochána and further resources which we believe are required.
Final response, Minister.
Well, I wish to reiterate for the benefit of the House the increased budgetary allocation to enable the Garda recruitment drive to continue for next year with up to 800 new recruits, allowing for retirements to the order of approximately 300. That will see a net intake of ambitious, energetic, highly qualified Gardaí to the order of approximately 500 in numbers. Deputy O'Callaghan was somewhat selective in his examples given to the House. No surprise there. But can I acknowledge new recruits in the Cavan Monaghan division from the most recent attestation of 12th of September this year, 4 new recruits to Cavan Monaghan, 5 to Donegal, 4 to Sligo Leitrim, 8 to Louth. And these issues will continue to remain under review and active consideration by the Garda Commissioner, who is primarily responsible for the effective and efficient use of the resources available, including proposals for opening and closing of Garda stations along the border area in response to the various challenges that are there from time to time.